A very good morning, students. As we have started with the 10th standard science. So in today's class, let us begin with a new chemistry chapter, that is carbon and its compounds. So whenever you are talking about carbon and its compounds, it may be the hydrocarbons and its derivatives. All these comes under a branch of chemistry that is called as organic chemistry. Organic chemistry. So what is organic chemistry, students? It is a branch of science where it deals with carbon and its compounds. It may be with the hydrocarbons. So all these together we will call it as organic chemistry. Right? Yes. Carbon is one of the important elements because there are so many, not only I can say so many, there are millions of things which are made up of carbon. Either we take our body, we will start from our body itself. Our body is having the carbon molecules, right? It may be the food what we are using, it may be the clothes, it may be the books, it may be the medicines, it may be the alcohol. There are so many, that is what I told you, there are millions of things, there are millions of compounds which are made up of carbon. So, carbon is having the unique features, right? So, what are all the things that all we are going to discuss in detail in the chapter carbon and its compounds. In the nature, in the earth's crust, if you check, carbon only 0.02% it is available. Only 0.02% in the earth's crust in the form of carbonates and all it is available. In the atmosphere, the carbon is present in the combined form, like a carbon dioxide, it is 0.03%. 0.03%. Although the percentage is very less, but from the compound you can get millions of compounds. You can find the formation of millions of compounds. That is what we are going to discuss carbon as one of the important chapter in chemistry. Right, students? Yes. Carbon, its symbol is capital C with the atomic number 6 and mass number 12. Atomic number is 6. As you know, atomic number is 6 in the sense, atomic number is nothing but the number of protons. And we know that number of protons is equal to number of electrons. So, if 6 is the atomic number, means carbon is having 6 electrons. Let me write its electronic configuration, students. 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 2. 2 plus 2, 4 electrons, 4 plus 2, 6 electrons we have distributed. So in the first shell you are getting 2 electrons, in the second shell you are having the 4 electrons. So these 4 electrons are called as the valence electrons. These 4 are the valence electrons, as these are present in the outermost shell of the carbon. So what happens, students? As we know, each and every element wants 8 electrons in its outermost shell to become stable. How many electrons it requires? 8 electrons in the outermost shell, because it wants to get the octet structure. It wants to get the stability. So same thing applies to the carbon. In the outermost shell of the carbon, there are 4 electrons. Even it required another 4 electrons to become stable. So tell me whether it will receive those 4 electrons or it will donate 4 electrons. See, if you check another example, just keep it like this only. Come to the another example like a sodium atom. Sodium atom whose atomic number is 11. Okay. If you write the electronic configuration, it is 281. So how many electrons are there in the outermost shell, students? 1 electron is present. And if it will donate this 1 electron, what the valence electrons. So how many electrons it requires to become stable? One more electron. So instead of donating 7, it will receive one electron from some other element. So when it will receive one electron, the chlorine atom will get some charge and it will become chlorine Cl minus, negatively charged, and it is called as the anion. As this all you have discussed in your last year, right? So if I write the atomic structure of the sodium now, this is the nucleus of the sodium, this is the outermost shell with the one electron, right? Similarly for the chlorine, this is the nucleus, this is the outermost shell with the 7 electrons. What happens here, students? Sodium will give out, means there is a transfer of one electron from sodium to chlorine, so that both can combine to form a compound that is called sodium chloride, NaCl. And there is a relationship between the sodium and chlorine, the force of attraction, that is called as ionic bond. That is called ionic bond, and the compounds of this ionic bond are called ionic compounds. Ionic compounds. Right, students? It will be MgCl2, NaCl, so many examples will come. So these are all, there is a complete formation of the ions. So we are going to call these as the ionic compounds, and the bond formed is the ionic bond. So here what we understood, there is a complete transfer of the electrons. Okay, so here also 2 chances are there for the carbon. Coming back to the carbon, students, here 2 chances are there. Either it can donate the electrons, yes or no, or it can receive electrons. By donating, what it has to become? C plus. By receiving, it has to become C minus. Do you find these 2 chances? If carbon donates 4 electrons and it will become positively charged, it is not possible, students. What happens? To lose 4 electrons, this carbon nucleus requires large amount of energy. A very huge amount of energy is required to lose these 4 electrons from the carbon. So this is not possible. Coming to the receiving of the electrons. Can it receive? No. See, in the nucleus there are 6 protons. Correct? 6 is the atomic number, means 6 protons are there. In the nucleus 6 are there. Already it is holding 4 electrons. Already it is holding 4 electrons. If you are providing another 4, means if you have received from other carbon or some other elements, and again these 4 means it will be burden on this nucleus and it cannot hold it. This space also is not possible. So it cannot donate the electrons, it cannot receive the electrons. Then what is the remedy for this? Yes, it can share the electrons. There is a sharing of electrons between carbon or maybe between other elements. So what happens here? There is a sharing of the electrons, and by sharing of the electrons, what bond is formed? That is called as covalent bond. That is called covalent bond, and these compounds are called as covalent compounds. Covalent compounds. Hope you are understanding, students? Yes. So, what do you mean by covalent bond or covalent compounds? By sharing of the electrons between the atoms, the formation of the bond, the force of attraction, what creates, that we are going to call it as a covalent bond, and the compounds formed with the bond are called as covalent compounds. So it may be between carbon and its compounds. What type of the bonding we find, students? That is nothing but the covalent bond we are going to get it. Okay. Let us discuss the properties of covalent compounds. Take down the heading. Properties of covalent compounds. What are all the properties? The first one, these are all having low melting point and boiling point. Covalent compounds are having very less, so we can say it as low melting point and the boiling point. The second one, these are poor conductors of electricity. Poor conductors of electricity. They cannot conduct the electricity like ionic compounds in the aqueous solution. Here you don't find that, because here you don't find the complete ionization. Right, students? Like how Na plus and Cl minus it will divide no ionic compounds. Like that, here you don't find the complete ionization. There is no complete formation of the ions. That is what you don't find, called as poor conductors of the electricity. And these are soluble in organic solvents. Soluble in organic solvents. They can dissolve in the organic solvents. It may be the so many organic solvents will come. In that they can dissolve. But ionic compounds, what we said, they can be soluble in water, but not in the but not in the organic solvents. We said, but here it is. They can dissolve. Right? So these are some of the properties of the covalent compound. Let's discuss still more things about the covalent compounds. For that, let us begin with some examples. Let me take the example of hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen molecule. If I had H2, as you know, this is the hydrogen molecule, and it is the combination of two hydrogen atoms. H plus H have combined to form H2 molecule. So to form H2, what is the relationship between these two hydrogen? You find the covalent bond between these two atoms. How it is that we will discuss. As you know, the atomic number of the hydrogen is 1. Means what I can write their electronic configuration, it is NS1. To become stable, it requires one more electron here, so that it can become 1s2. Right? So what happens? Hydrogen with 1 electron. I am taking this hydrogen atom with 1 electron. You can show the electron either with a dot or with a into mark. Let me take this hydrogen. It is with the 1 electron. So what these two will do? They will donate or receive? Nothing. Both will not donate and receive. They will share among themselves. This electron, this hydrogen will be shared with this electron, and this hydrogen will be shared with this. Can you understand, students? So this hydrogen has shared 1 electron and this hydrogen has shared 1 electron. So this we are representing like this. And this is called as the single bond. Single covalent bond we can say. So between two hydrogen atoms, by sharing the electron, how many electrons they have shared? 1 pair of electrons. 1 pair means 2 electrons. By sharing these 2 electrons, they have become the hydrogen molecule. Between hydrogen, what type of a bond you find, students? That is the single covalent bond. Hope you are understanding? Yes. Let me take another example, that is oxygen molecule. O2 let me take. Okay, so O2, how it has formed? By the combination of 2 oxygen atoms. The oxygen atomic number is 8. Write the electronic configuration: 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. First shell with the 2 electrons, second shell with the 6 electrons. How many electrons it requires to become stable? Another 2 electrons are required. So this oxygen will share those 2 electrons with this, and this will share those 2 electrons with this, so that both can form the oxygen molecule. Right? Let me show with the electron dot structure. This is called as, the way how you are writing those students, this is called electron dot structure or Lewis dot structure. Okay, let me draw first oxygen with the 6 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so here let me draw another oxygen atom again with the 6. Let me show this with the dots. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many are required to this oxygen? Another 2. For this also another 2. Right? So they will share among themselves. Right? And this oxygen, so I can show it as this oxygen 2, this oxygen 2. So let me show you like this, students. Yes. How many pairs of electrons are shared between 2 oxygen atoms? This is one pair, this is one pair. 2 pairs of electrons, or you can say 4 electrons have shared among oxygen atoms. So oxygen, this one line indicates one pair of electrons. This line shows another pair of electrons. So by sharing 2 pairs of electrons, we find the formation of oxygen molecule. And this is called as 2 pairs, 4 electrons have shared. So this is called as double bond. This is called as the double bond. Right? Take down. Let me give one more example, students, that is nitrogen molecule. Nitrogen molecule. Again, same nitrogen molecule has formed by combining of 2 nitrogen atoms. Atomic number of nitrogen is 7. So electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 electrons. Correct? First shell with the 2 electrons, second shell with the 5 electrons. So what are how many are there in outermost shell? 5 electrons. Still more, how many required? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that it can become stable, right? So what it will do? It will share those 3 electrons with the adjacent nitrogen, and this will share with this, so that both can together form the nitrogen molecule. So let us see, students. Nitrogen with the 5 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is one more nitrogen which is also having 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what this nitrogen will do? Already 5 it is having. So it will share 3 electrons from this. Here 5 are there. It will share these 3 from this. So totally how can I write here? From here 3. From here 3. Right, students? So how many pairs of electrons have shared between 2 nitrogen here? 1 pair, second pair, third pair, total 6 electrons. So how to represent this? N, 1, 2, 3 lines you have to show, and nitrogen. Correct? So 3 lines, nothing but 3 pairs of electrons have shared between 2 nitrogen atoms, and this is called as the triple bond. This is called triple bond. Right, students? Take down all the 3 examples. Yes, students, let us take one more simple example to understand the covalent bond. Let me take the example of methane. As you may know, methane is the first member of the hydrocarbons, right? and it is used as one of the fuel. Mainly, it is the component of a biogas, compressed natural gas. Thereon, we find the usage of the methane as one of the gas it is, one of the fuel it is. Okay, so the methane, the molecular formula is CH4. This is called molecular formula. The molecular formula of the methane is CH4. Means how many hydrogen are there, students? 4 hydrogen atoms are there with 1 carbon atom. Right? So let me draw its structural formula. Carbon 1. As you know, carbon, let me draw here. Carbon with 4 electrons in its outermost shell. How many electrons it has? 4 electrons. Correct? To this carbon, you find the 4 hydrogen atoms. 4 hydrogen. Let me draw hydrogen here. Hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. 4 hydrogen are there, and we will represent its electron with a dot. How many electrons it has? It has a 1 electron. How many it wants? It wants a 2 electrons to become stable, right? So this hydrogen will share 1 electron of the carbon. It will share 1 electron of this carbon, and similarly this hydrogen will share this hydrogen with this carbon, and this one with this. Hydrogen is satisfied. What about the carbon? Carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it will share, right? It will share the hydrogen electrons, and it will become stable. So how can I draw this, students? Carbon, hydrogen, right? Here let me draw one more H. So tell me, between this carbon and hydrogen, between this I am talking, how many electrons have shared? 1 pair of electrons. One single line is there means 1 pair of electrons have shared. Here also 1 pair, if you consider this. Here if you consider 1 pair of electrons, and here is a 1 pair of electrons. Right, students? So like this we find the molecular formula and the structural formula of the methane with a single covalent bond. Right? Take down, students. Let me give one more example like NH3, ammonia, whose molecular formula is NH3. Means how many nitrogen are there? 1 nitrogen atom with the 3 hydrogen atoms. Similarly, nitrogen with how many electrons in the outermost shell, students? 5 electrons are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many it requires to become stable? Another 3. Okay, now? So let me write the hydrogen now. Hydrogen, and hydrogen, because 3 hydrogen atoms are there, representing with the dot the hydrogen electrons. So what happens now, students? Yes, this hydrogen will share 1 electron with this nitrogen. This will share with this. This will share with this. Hydrogen is satisfied. What about the nitrogen? Already it is having 5, 6, 7, 8 from 1 electron from each hydrogen. So even it is satisfied. So let me draw the structure. N. Okay, here I will draw hydrogen, So one pair of electrons, 2, 4, 6. Already it is having 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So one single bond you find between the molecule NH3. Right? Take down the example. Yes, students. Hope you are understanding with the covalent bond, sharing of electrons between the molecules to form the bond called covalent bond, right? So remaining we will discuss in our next class. Thank you.